What would change if men took more responsibility for their emotional development?
I think that's like world changing.
Yeah, it's a big question. It's a real question.
Yeah, because essentially we're all operating out of something that has happened to us in an experience we've had. And so I think a lot less, um, there will be a lot less spillage on from their trauma to onto other people, you know? I think it's very interesting how we have allowed, we have just watched so many people just, nah, I'm tough. I got grit. I'm strong. You know what I'm saying? And they're like taking credit for like holding on and not breaking apart. And it's like, man, you probably should have broken apart. This should have broken you. You know what I mean? Like, it's okay for you to be weak for a season so that you can get stronger. And so I think if more men took responsibility, then I think our communities changed within an instant because we're at least able to say, hey, I'm struggling with this. I don't know what
Hmm.
to do about it and I need help.
I said men, and I think I'm going to shift it to parents, no, whichever gender, because the role of parenting requires some emotional maturity.
I agree with what Glenn said. I feel like it would change generations and communities for the better, um, if that happened. I feel like we, as a community, lack emotional intelligence, and it's such a powerful tool to have. To
Who's
be,
we?
huh?
Who's we?
I'm just saying, as a, like in general,
People?
people,
Mhm.
not you.
Well, yeah, I was saying.
um, yeah. I just think that the communities would change. Oh my gosh, the impact would be, it would extend beyond anything we could probably imagine.
Yeah, because we would be safer.
Yeah.
We'd be safer spaces for each other.
Yeah. I feel like there would be so much like less, there would be like, just for the Black community, for example, like, could you imagine like if people outside of the Black community could see us for the way that we've had to navigate the systems that exist in America alone? You know what I mean? And I mean, I know we're talking about parents and families and all the things, but
It's all connected.
it's all connected.
What happens in the relationship with ourselves gets reflected in the relationships with other people. That
Yes.
gets reflected in our children, in our home culture and system. That gets reflected on our block, in
Yeah.
our neighborhood, in our communities, and around the world. And I think that if there were more parents of either gender who are willing to do their work and to develop emotionally, co-parenting would change.
Yeah.
Children walking the planet believing that they're not good enough would change. We'd be better at picking partners. Like, I think everything would change.
Yes.
Because when you're on the ropes, it's really hard to get even basic things done when you're on the ropes. And when you do the emotional work, it takes you off the ropes and allows you to be in a position to actually see what's happening so that you can address it. And if it's the little child inside of you, let's address that. If it's, the way that you and your partner who love each other deeply are communicating and relating to each other, address that. If it's your inability to see your child as a human being and to treat them with the same respect and care that you do a stranger on the street, address that. But I think that there's always been a good time to develop emotionally, to mature emotionally. And if there's one thing about what's happening in the world today that I think gives us opportunity is to really see what's going on and to give us the opportunity to address it, because it's worth addressing, because our families need it. And not just us, like our kids' kids and their kids. They need it,
Yes.
you know. And we don't do Uncle Joe any good by carrying forward his nonsense. You know, Uncle Joe got on your nerves, but you're going to take all this Uncle Joe stuff and you're going to pour it into your children. Like, you don't want Uncle Joe there. So why is Uncle Joe there?
Right.
You know?
Exactly.
Yeah.